Full-Time Magister Season 1 begins by showing a young man named Mofan who looks lethargic after taking the Sky Magic Senior High School entrance exam. He looked unsure if he could pass, as the exam was quite difficult. The father didn't seem to mind his test results and had already found another job if he didn't make it into Sky Magic High School. However, Mofan told his father, Mo Sing, that he still wanted to attend Sky Magic High School to become the world's greatest mage. Hearing his son's strong desire, Mo Sing promised that he would think of a way for Mofan to attend Sky Magic High School. Knowing that his son did not pass the entrance exam, Mo Sing meets a man named Muir, his former classmate who happens to be a Sky Magic High School director. Mo Sing begged him to accept his son there. At first, Muir refused Mo Sing's request, but because he kept begging, Muir finally granted his wish, but on one condition: Mo Sing had to mortgage his house and land to Mu family. With no other choice, Mo Sing finally agreed to the terms. That evening, Mo Sing told his son that he had successfully enrolled Mofan into Sky Magic High School. Hearing this, Mofan seemed happy and promised his father that he would become a great mage so his family could be happy. When his father talked about his childhood friend, a girl named Mu Ningshui, then Mofan remembered his past when he took her away from home. Mofan remembered well when Mu Ningshui asked him to take her away from there. To help her, he was accused of trying to kidnap her by Mu family. As a result of his actions, Mofan and his family received a stern warning from Mu family which forbade him to approach her. Long story short, Mofan attended Sky Magic High School and started his first day at school. He and his classmates must take a test to determine which element of magic they possess. A young man named Mu Bai got the first turn to take the test. As a member of Mu family, he has the element of ice magic, a hereditary talent in his family. Because he came from a fairly well-known family in society, he tended to be arrogant and often looked down on others, especially Mofan. When it was Mofan's turn to take the test, everyone in his class suddenly ran out of the classroom when they found out that a student in the next class had magical powers with the lightning element, one of the strongest and rarest elements. Because everyone's attention was on the student, they didn't even know that Mofan possessed magic power with the two strongest elements at once, namely the lightning and fire elements. He decided to show his fire element to everyone and keep his lightning element a secret. 2 months later, Mofan and his classmates were listening to the teacher's explanation of the 7 levels of magic they must master before using and controlling the magic power according to their will. Mu Bai became the only disciple who could reach the 5th level and controlled the ice magic power he had quite well. Meanwhile, Mofan, who had just reached the 1st level of his fire magic element, became the subject of ridicule by his friends. However, unbeknownst to his friends, Mofan had mastered his lightning element and managed to control it quite well. When he came home from school, Mofan saw his younger sister, Sia, being bullied by a group of thugs. He became furious, released the lightning elemental magic power he had mastered and managed to defeat the thugs. Seeing that her brother has such great magical powers even though he's only been practicing for 6 months, Sia asked if Mofan joined a criminal organization called the Black Order which can train a person to master magic quickly. He assured his sister that he was not involved with the Black Order. Realizing that he could not carelessly use the lightning element in front of others, he was determined to keep it a secret and improve his ability to master fire elemental magic. The next day, Mofan's school had a female teacher named Tong Yue who mastered the magic power of the fire element. She then showed the students the basic technique of fire elemental magic called Ignite, which Mofan was excited to learn. He continued to practice the fire elemental magic power so that he would not rely too much on the lightning element he had mastered first. Ahead of the magic practice exam that will be held soon, the teacher tells him and his classmates that they must get high scores to pass the exam and not be expelled. On the other hand, the students who achieved the highest score and managed to release the magic power and control it were immediately transferred to the elite class, where they would get magic items to increase their power. Meanwhile, Muir found out about Mofan's progress at school from his nephew, who was none other than Mu Bai, then planned to get him out of school by rigging the practice exam. Long story short, the day of the exam arrived. Mu Ningshui, the best student in the school, seemed to be there with her father, Mr. Mu. After she amazed everyone with her ice elemental magic power, the students were asked to show their magic power individually. When it was Mofan's turn, Muir then carried out her action by placing a magic black stone that could absorb a person's magic power. So Mofan had to do everything in his power so that he wouldn't get a bad score. Even with the black stone absorbing his magic power, Mofan got a pretty good score and impressed everyone with the fire elemental magic release technique he had managed to cultivate. Seeing his potential, Mr. Mu seemed very impressed and interested in making him a part of the Mu family. However, Mofan rejected the offer, as he still felt hurt by Mu family's treatment of his family. Mr. Mu then challenges him to a fight with his adoptive son, Yu Long, 2 years from now, and then he accepts the challenge. Because Mo Fan managed to enter the elite class, he had the opportunity to borrow the magic items that the school had promised to the elite class students so that they could increase their magic power. That night, when Mo Fan was about to practice using the fire element magic item lent to him, the pendulum on his necklace suddenly reacted and swallowed the magic item. He immediately panicked because he knew that magic items were very expensive. Unexpectedly, Tong Yue saw what happened and told Mo Fan that the necklace was a magic item. Tong Yue then promised him that he would help with the problem regarding magic items and asked him to focus on his training instead. The next day, Mo Fan and his schoolmates will pay a visit to the military base on the front line, whose job is to protect the residents from monster attacks that roam outside the safe zone, where he and his schoolmates will attend monster hunting training. Arriving there, they were greeted by the chief inspector named John Kong, who promised to give magic armor to one of the best students who managed to defeat the monsters that roam the forest around the military base. The students are required to go through the forest and hunt monsters there. John Kong then warned the students to stay away from the cave, which was the hiding place of a very fierce wolf monster. However, some students did not heed his warning and continued to enter the cave because they thought that he only wanted to scare them. On the other hand, Mo Fan and his best friend, a young man named Zhang Xiaohu, noticed something odd at the mouth of the cave, so they warned their schoolmates not to enter cave. Hearing this, Mubai and the others mocked the two of them as timid students and continued on their way into the cave. Shortly afterward, Mubai and his schoolmates finally met the wolf monster who already knew of their arrival. Then they ran away to save themselves. On the other hand, John Kong and the teachers observed the students from a distance. He told the teachers that the wolf monsters were spirit beasts controlled by one of his men to train students when encountering real monsters. Meanwhile, Mubai and his friends are trying to fight the spirit beast, but they weren't strong enough to beat him, so Mo Fan intervened against him. However, the spirit beast seemed to have gone out of control due to Mo Fan's fire elemental magic, thus attacking the disciples indiscriminately. John Kong, who didn't want the students to get hurt, rushed down to stop the spirit beast. On the other hand, Mo Fan became furious when the spirit beast injured Xiaohu, causing him to lie down helplessly. He finally defeated the spirit beast by combining his lightning and fire elemental magic powers. John Kong, who had just arrived there, seemed surprised to see the spirit beast lying lifeless, as well as the teachers and his henchmen who did not expect the spirit beast to be more powerful than any other monster defeated by a new high school student learn magic. Because he had defeated the spirit beast and rescued his schoolmates, Mo Fan was named the best student in monster hunting training and received a medal of appreciation from John Kong. 2 months later, Mo Fan, who wanted to increase his magic power and get money to replace the magic items he had lost, decided to register as a bounty hunter. Thanks to the magical power of the lightning element he mastered, Mo Fan was successfully accepted as one of the city's most famous members of the Monsters Hunters team. Not long after, the Monsters Hunters team got a mission to defeat a monster that suddenly attacked one of the schools in the city. As a new member, Mo Fan was immediately included in the mission and was tasked to comb the canteen area where he finally came face to face with the monster. At first, Mo Fan was overwhelmed by the monster, so the members of the Monsters Hunters team rushed over to help him. Ultimately, he defeated the monster with his lightning elemental magic power. The team captain then gave him a sizable bonus for his good performance on his first day on the job, and since then, he has officially joined the Monsters Hunters team. The next day, Mr. Mu goes to his adoptive son, Yu Wang, to tell him about the duel that he will have against Mo Fan. Mr. Mu informed that the duel was intended to allow him to increase his strength in a place called the Sacred Spring, which is known to have a huge source of spiritual energy. Elsewhere, a student, Zhao Min, comes to Mo Fan and wants to ask him out tonight. Mo Fan then agreed. That night, Zhao Min took Mo Fan to an abandoned factory near her grandmother's house, which is rumored to be a haunted and scary place because of the frequent earthquakes in that place and can be felt by residents who live near the factory. Because her grandmother refused to move from there, Zhao Min then asked Mo Fan to help investigate the factory and find out what was going on there. When they got there, they were very surprised by the appearance of the one-eyed wolf demon who had been hiding in the abandoned factory all this time. Mo Fan immediately told Zhao Min to find help and evacuate the residents to a safer place, while he would try to hold the monster down until help arrived. However, Mo Fan had a hard time dealing with the monster because the one-eyed wolf demon was known to be a very formidable monster and was difficult to defeat even by professional mages. Not long after, a member of the Monster Hunters team, a woman named Chai Tong, arrived there with Yu Wang after receiving an emergency call. They managed to hold off the monster until finally, the other members of the Monsters Hunters team came there. However, the monsters were extremely difficult to defeat, even after they combined forces and attacked them simultaneously. The team captain was injured in the incident, and the rest suggested retreating while Mo-Fan restrained the monster with lightning elemental magic power. But then, a man named Mr. Yang arrived and defeated the one-eyed wolf demon with his mid-tier wind and water elemental magic powers. Seeing him as so respected by the monster's hunters team, Mo-Fan thinks that Mr. Yang must be a great mage. Mr. Yang then praised Mo-Fan as a thunder mage and said he would become the great thunder mage in the future. After that, Mo-Fan looked at his shining pendant and wondered if his magic item could evolve to be a powerful weapon because the pendant had eaten the spirit of every demon or monster he defeated. A few days later, Mo-Fan went to Sia to give her half his first salary so that she could use the money for her personal needs. Sia then told her brother that she had mastered the healing ability after learning the white magic. He seemed happy that his sister could finally use magic power, despite having a crippled physical condition. One day, Mo-Fan was summoned to the principal's room to discuss the duel between him and Yu Ang that was about to be held on a large scale. The principal seems to have known Mr. Mu, who wanted to give Yu Ang a chance to train in the sacred spring, then warned Mo-Fan to be careful and prepare for the duel. In the evening, Mo-Fan was visited by Mu Ningshui, who asked him to withdraw from the duel because Yu Ang would do anything, including a very cunning action to win the duel. However, Mo-Fan firmly said that he would still duel against Yu Ang to restore his family's pride and dignity, which had been trampled on by Mu family a few years ago. Long story short, the day of the battle arrived. Arriving at Mu family residence where the duel was being held, Mo-Fan received the ridicule of many because he was just a poor and weak young man. However, he ignored all of that and entered the battle arena valiantly. Yu Ang didn't hesitate to attack Mo-Fan with his high-level ice elemental magic. Knowing that he was a fire elemental magic user, Yu Ang wore special fire-resistant armor, so Mo-Fan's attacks had no effect on him. Determined to regain his family's pride and dignity, Mo-Fan unleashed a lightning elemental magic power which shocked everyone, especially Mu family, who had no idea that he possessed the strongest and rare elemental magic power. Thanks to the magical power of the lightning element, Mo-Fan easily defeated Yu Ang and had the opportunity to train in the sacred spring for a whole week. His victory over Yu Ang ended the first season of Donghua Full-Time Magister. The moral that can be learned from this anime is, never stop trying even though people look down on us. In addition, keep fighting for the people you care about, like family.